What's going on, fighters? Welcome back to another episode of the TNF Podcast with your boys K9C. I'm Shamar the Dragon Fox.
Now Wolfpack reporting for duty.
And we have a Capcom packed episode for you guys this week. First up on the docket, we have. Oh wait, no, sorry. Before we go into Capcom, SNK news first. As I see here, Wolf, I believe you have something to tell us about the new Wolves character gameplay trailers. We have Terry Bogart's and Rock Lee's trailers out now.
Yes, both Rock Howard and Terry Bogard got showcased in separate trailers. For those who know these guys very well, obviously you know what the gameplay is going to be like. But for those who are new to King of Fighters and in turn Fatal Fury, and might have not ever heard of these guys before, those trailers definitely gave us new fans just a little glimpse into what it's all about for City of the Wolves, and I gotta say, I was not disappointed. Not at all.
Same here. Like they seem to move pretty cleanly, but I will cut you in there, Wolf, and say that I think people at least know who Terry is because he was in Smash Bros.
Yes, this is very true. As for Rock Howard, obviously this will be a first look at him for many different because not a lot of people know that Rock and Geese are related. So yeah, a lot of people going nuts over these two trailers, and we were actually blessed today with a third brand new trailer.
Oh, were we?
Apparently so, yes. We were actually blessed with a third one today. If I can find it, hang on. Where is it? No, that's Kevin. So we already got that one. Or at least I could have sworn that there was something that we ended up getting for a new character, but apparently not from what I can find. So that might have just been I think that just might have been me getting a little too excited, but so I apologize. I have no intentions of spreading misinformation. So I deeply apologize for that. Nonetheless, though, Rock and Terry bringing the fire as expected, and with Gamescom 2024 coming up very soon, there will be a playable demo for City of the Wolves, featuring all 10 characters that we know are confirmed so far. And, that way, those who didn't get the opportunity to test the game out before, now you'll be able to get your hands on this demo and see for yourself why City of the Wolves is one of the most highly anticipated games for 2025.
I mean, I'm anticipating it. Are you anticipating it?
Oh, hell yeah. And this is coming from somebody who knows pretty much next to nothing about Fatal Fury.
Same here. Like it's like neither of us have really been that in depth with Fatal Fury and even King of Fighters in general. But I like as soon as that thing dropped, like as soon as that first trailer dropped like several months ago, like we've been eagerly anticipating the release date of this game if we ever get it. Hopefully 2025. We hope.
Yes, that is very true. Sometime in 2025, it will be coming out. We don't have a specific release date just yet. But
we don't even have a quarter yet. Like we don't even have a season quite yet. we just know that it's probably going to be 2025, which hopefully doesn't get delayed into 2026. But you know, it is what it is.
Exactly, and to kind of tie this in, with Capcom, Capcom will also be having quite the showcase at Gamescom, and there will be a playable demo for Street Fighter 6 that features an early build for Terry, since he is going to be a character that's going to be coming out, the first ever guest character in Street Fighter history. So it is going to be absolutely insane. I can't wait to see what people say about Terry in Street Fighter 6, because I mean, this is something we have all been waiting for a very, very long time.
Oh yeah, especially after that most recent Terry trailer where they teased what he looks like in game, but they didn't actually show any actual gameplay. So we're all hungry for those deets on how he actually plays against the other
Exactly.
players. So I hope that people who do go there to Gamescom and like play the demo, I really hope that someone can get some footage of that so they can show us off on YouTube, because I need to see him in action.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? Something tells me that some of the big names, probably Justin Wong. I think he might end up being at Gamescom, and he might,
Ooh.
maybe, nothing's confirmed yet, but I have a good feeling he might show up there and might get his hands on that demo. Um, a lot of people are looking forward to this, and as we all know, Street Fighter and Fatal Fury have two of the biggest fan bases in the community, so all eyes are going to be on this once in a lifetime collaboration, at least for now. But yeah, it's gonna be crazy to see the way things go at Gamescom 2024. And in addition to that, we did get some new news from Capcom, as they are now looking to re-release as many of their classic fighting game titles as possible onto modern consoles. And this, of course, is following the recent success of SNK versus Capcom SVC Chaos being re-released on modern hardware. So, with that pretty much said, it sounds like we're definitely going to be getting a lot of Street Fighter, probably. We're likely going to be getting a bunch of Art of Fighting games on there. Probably bring in all the fit. No, wait, Final Fight. There we go. I
Yes, Final Fights.
almost said Fatal. Oh my
And speaking of releases, we I'm not sure if you found out about this already, Wolf, but there is actually a release date for the MVC Fighting Collection.
Oh, there is now. Oh,
Yes, I looked up on Amazon to see if the release date was happening, and there are pre-orders up now. And the game is currently slated. Currently, I'm like, this could be subject. Like, this is subject to change, so I'm not gonna say this is a guarantee. But currently on Amazon, it is slated for a December 31st release.
holy smokes.
So mark it
Oh,
down on your holiday wish lists. This game is coming out at year's end currently.
geez, literally year's end. What in the
Yes.
world? Oh my gosh. And you know what? Speaking of Marvel versus Capcom, obviously we know how bad Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was, and so to make things right, listening to the fans, a bunch of individuals, a bunch of well-known individuals got together and actually created a much better looking mod entitled Infinite and Beyond. And one of the individuals that worked on it is none other than everybody's favorite Maximilian Dude. He was one of the individuals that was spearheading this project, and as as some of us have seen, and as a lot of us have not seen, uh, Max put up a huge update video for this mod.
Dude, it was all like
So,
near
good
two
lord.
hours long. Like dear God, like this guy, like this just shows how passionate he is for this game. Like even like in
Oh,
the video,
dude.
like I was watching the video, I even heard him say that he was doing a lot of the art direction, and he was getting the final say on a lot of stuff, and he even said that apparently he gives the thumbs up for every single lighting in the game.
Yep, that is exactly what we heard. Like, obviously it's no surprise how dedicated Max is to this community. He's been in it for a very long time. He's worked on a couple games himself, a couple of actual games, not mods or anything, but like legitimate games and whatnot. And his love for Marvel versus Capcom, like, that goes back to the original titles. That goes back to the OGs. He has been
Yes, and
this franchise for a very, very long time. And
that's quite evident considering that he said in the video, in this update video, that he is bringing all the character looks and the color schemes back from MVC1.
Yes, exactly. And on top of that, like the fact that um they got the cell shaded look in there looks absolutely fucking
It
beautiful. Like,
looks so much clearer than the original, than
oh
vanilla
man.
MC MVC one or I. Like
Yeah,
it's like it just looks so much better. When he was going back and forth between looking like comparing them, like I saw just a huge stark contrast. Like vanilla MVCI, just it was so dark and drab and everything.
yeah.
But the Beyond mod, oh my gosh, like that is such a glow up from the vanilla.
Fuck yeah. And you know what? I will applaud Capcom for trying to give like a more realistic look to the vanilla version of the game, but it's
But they
just
needed but they need to try
yeah,
harder because that,
yeah,
oh gosh, they like granted, like I get that Max actually does find some joy in playing the vanilla, and I can understand that as someone who has had a little bit of time with it myself, coming over to your place and playing it a little bit.
yeah.
It is a fun game for the casual fighting game player who just wants to just have some fun, do a little button mash, not really be too serious about it. But other than that, it's not the greatest experience, and I'm very thankful for Max and his team of over 20 devs at this point in doing this. And can we just also appreciate the upscaling that they've done to this game? For one, I love how in the menus, like he showed that we like he actually shows that the rivals are kind of like having fun little cameos here, like you have Chung Li doing
Yeah.
She-Hulk's hair, you have Hagar trying to lift up Thor's hammer, you have freaking Venom and Nemesis sharing pizza together. Like it's just such a fun little gimmick to have in the menu. And then of course we have the OST done by
Yes, the
none
music.
other done by none other than master heavy metal cover artist himself, Little V. Like, oh my
Let's
gosh. Like
go.
like that's such a stat symbol these days. Like if there are two cover artists that are is such a stat symbol to have doing stuff for you, it's Jonathan Young, who I freaking love for him for both his covers and his original songs. But then Lil V Mills, oh my gosh, that guy's been around forever, and he has done such a good job with so many like OSTs from like games, anime, cartoons, heck, even some classic rocks. Like I have his cover for Eye of the Tiger, and it
Oh yeah.
freaking slaps.
Not to mention he's done a few original pieces as well. One that I remember was actually when it was back in 2020 when the world was shut down, and the title of the song was "Stay the Fuck Inside."
Dude, 2020, everyone was trying to get their
Worked.
own. Yeah,
It
like
fucking worked, man. It is
yeah, it totally did.
really
And it was crazy. Like he even did covers for other creators. Did you know that so if you're not aware, Ninja Sex Party, they did this song called uh, I forget what the name of it, but it was all about like dinosaurs in space or whatever, and
oh yeah.
lasers and all and whatnot. And I have listened to the original and the Little V Mills cover. I'm gonna say this: V Mills, he did a way better job of the song than the original.
I have listened to both versions and I can wholeheartedly agree with you on that. And like the one thing I really enjoy about this partnership between Max and Little V Mills is the fact that these two have known each other for a long time. I don't know if you knew this or not.
I did not.
The no. Hang on, hang on. I don't know if you knew this or not, but um the intro music for Max's videos, Little V
Oh no way.
composed it. He
Okay, I have
actually
so much more
composed,
respect for that intro now.
yeah, he composed it completely, and it's just, oh my god, like I already had as much respect as possible for these two, but the fact that they are now working on something together,
This is just
it's on
like
this big of a scale, like
like
dude,
like like pardon the pun, but this is infinitely cooler than anything we've seen before in terms of mods.
absolutely, dude. Like, oh man, I love this mod so much, and I especially love the cell shading because it gives me Marvel 3 vibes.
It
And
definitely does. Like, it definitely harkens back to the old like manga and comic book aesthetic that the
yeah,
MVC3 had.
and I feel like that was the intention.
It does.
Even if it wasn't the intention, like you gotta love the fact that they went with this sort of look because goddamn, like I will die on this hill, but I miss the cell shaded look from Marvel 3. I missed it so much. So the fact that Infinite and Beyond is giving us that coat of paint over what we ended up getting in the vanilla game, like, dude, that is a dream come true for me, especially considering that my introduction to the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise was Marvel 3. So
Yeah,
this
honestly, and for me too. Like I said, I played your version of like your vanilla version of Marvel Halo Infinite, but I gotta say, and like after that, after I had just seen how like non-competitive the game was, just because and how like the visuals weren't really living up to to the potential of the game, I honestly didn't really expect to ever buy Infinites myself, but after seeing this and granted I just learned about this like just yesterday. So
oh
I
shit.
yeah, so like I just learned about this mod just yesterday. So and seeing it now, like honestly, if I can get the mod for the PS5, I will for sure buy this game.
Oh, definitely. It is. I feel like this is worth reinstalling the game for sure for anyone that once had it and uninstalled it. That includes myself. Um so like it looks so fucking good. I
It
absolutely.
does.
And just like going back one more time on the graphics of the base game, like it's so bad that even the trailers looked better than what we ended up getting in the actual game itself.
That's honestly just sad. Like you know you've hit rock
Dude,
bottom when your trailers outdo the actual game.
yeah, that is something you never want to see. You want to make sure that everything is on par or beyond that in a good way. And it's just like, yeah, it didn't hit. It really didn't hit. And of course, further adding on to that was the game catering too much to the casual audience and just kind of leaving the competitive audience out of the picture
Not
altogether.
even not even so much the casual. Like it really just catered to the button mashers.
Yeah, pretty much. Like
Like
literally,
like
you
yeah,
can't
like it was a little below casuals in my opinion.
well, I mean, like you can't get any more casual than that, right?
Yeah.
So, like that's like the bottom of the barrel. No disrespect at all to anybody who button mashes, because like we all do that.
Oh yeah, yeah. We definitely do this sometimes to ourselves. But
So no
and
disrespect intended
yeah,
there.
and like granted, I will also say again, vanilla Marvel Infinite is still a fun game. It has that
Yeah.
fun factor in it that it definitely makes it a viable purchase. But other than like unless you have friends that you know you can actually like just have fun with this game, it's honestly not worth dishing out the cash for it. But now with this mod, if enough people can know about this mod and start downloading this as soon as it comes out, like Max said, hopefully later this year, I definitely think this will elevate the game to being just where it should have been in the beginning, and still have that casual appeal, but also give something to the competitive scene.
Hell yeah, man. Absolutely. And you know what? I can't wait to see how good this will look in the story mode. I can't fucking wait.
Oh, no doubt. The story mode is going to
Oh,
be freaking amazing. And I also can't wait to
oh,
see what they do because like they like Max shows all the new art for like during the match, but he did say that they were also going to update the art for the character select screen with both the
yeah,
character portraits and like just the character screenshots. I am very interested to see how they actually go about this. And you know what?
me too.
Like beyond cell shading, I'm kind of hoping they actually go with like an anime sort of feel with this.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was getting those vibes for sure. Watching through that update video and just seeing all the different stuff that Max and the rest of the devs have been working on, like holy hell, dude.
Yeah, and especially once you look at the art for the menu screens, like that art looks like it came out of a manga or a comic book, and it
It
just
really
looks
does.
it just looks really animated to me, and I feel like they could that art kind of art style could really work for the character select screen.
Oh, I totally agree, dude. Like this looks like it just looks so genuine and authentic that it's like how can you possibly, how can you possibly make that even better than it already is?
I don't know, man. Like honestly, like again, it's very sad when the modders can do the game better than you could do yourself. So
Yep. And
rip, so rip,
it's not just with fighting games either. Like racing games, first person shooters, RPGs, like literally
yeah,
it
every genre has that one story of that one game that the big publisher pumped out that was highly anticipated but god awful on release, and the modders just came in and they did their magic.
Yep, exactly. So, um, such an incredibly positive update from Maximilian regarding the Infinite and Beyond mod for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Cannot wait for this thing to launch. And for anyone who has not seen anything of this yet, go and check it out. I promise you guys will not be disappointed because this just looks it looks friggin' amazing. And I feel like this is what Capcom should have done in the first place.
Definitely, definitely. Anyway,
Considering
we
the success of Marvel 3 and
yeah.
just how visually appealing it was, they should have stuck to this. But
Yeah, this is definitely what they should have done. But
that's all.
anyway, we gush all day about this, but we got time constraints here, so we're gonna
Yeah.
move on. Speaking of new characters and new modding stuff, into the indie scene. So for those of you who may not have been following too closely to the Frame Makers recently, the Watcher is now playable in their most recent update. Now,
Oh
as far
yeah.
as I know, now I have now. I'll grant it. I have not. I only just heard about this. I have not gotten the chance to play the Watcher yet in game, and I have not heard any news about who the next DLC about who the next mainline character is supposed to be. I have not heard about any announcements for that. But I will say this: the Watcher is now playable. So for all of you who are like Slay the Spire fans who have been waiting for the Watcher to come in, again, I still think they could have gone with one of the other characters that would be a better pick, but that's not for me to decide. That's for the devs. But yeah, the Watcher is now playable, so you can go and check that out now. Hopefully, that should make the roster a little more like it already is pretty unique with all its character picks, but I'm hoping this will add a little more fun to it. And also, and this is something we don't usually do, like mods in general we don't usually cover, and it's going to be a major surprise to all of you that we are actually going to be covering two mod little events in this.
Yep.
First was the Infinite Beyond mod, and now we are going back. So I'm gonna tell you a little story, Wolf. Story time.
Yeah.
So
Go for it.
I was just traveling on I was just surfing YouTube for a bit, and literally on my homepage, I get the suggestion from 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 YouTube, and it comes from it comes from a channel called BLW. I have not looked into them just yet, so I don't know their backstory. But they had recently in the last couple of days, they had a basically their own little showcase. It was about 25 minutes long, but it was kind of like their own version of a Nintendo Direct, specifically for the first Rivals of Aether game, and it was all a community workshop showcase for mod characters.
Bro.
Dude, this just shows you just one how dedicated the Rivals community is, two how dedicated the mod community is, three how even after like however many years it's been since Rivals first launched, it has still got a very healthy community. I think thanks in part to how the devs just made this like mod heaven for all those modders out there, and just like the creativity on on deck here because I didn't watch through the entire showcase myself, but I watched like the first third of it. It had some amazing looking characters with all their amazing looking gimmicks. I think I saw even some characters from other indie games in there, not well known indie games. I didn't know who they were, but they were shouted out as apparently being from other games. So really cool there. Plus, not even that, but they also apparently they made a whole new stage for this.
Oh my god,
They
no.
made a whole new stage, which looks freaking amazing. The entire like collection, I guess you could say, is it's called All Star Heroines. It looks freaking amazing. I'm not gonna lie, this might be what gets me back into the first Rivals game because like I tried, I kind of got turned off from the weird control scheme on Switch, but honestly, this if I can get like the workshop mods to work on my Switch version, I may actually have to pick this up again because this looks because these characters look freaking cool. Like you have characters with like new ice power stuff. You have a girl who has like a wind sword that's somewhat telekinetic. You have a freaking parasite woman who basically can do grabs that are also like just parasitic attacks like life drain stuff that is actually something you have to do often to keep her going. Like it's like honestly, I think like the level of creativity from this community is just absolutely amazing. So yeah, if you guys haven't checked that out, the like again, the channel is called. Just gotta bring it up again. The channel is called uh BLW. Check them out. They just released they just released this 25-minute monstrosity like a day or two ago as of the time of this recording. And yeah, check them out because this just tells you just that Aether is probably like next to Skullgirls, or Aether is probably one of the foremost indie fighters out there.
Oh, I couldn't agree more, man. It's gonna be awesome to see once this mod launches.
Oh
Like,
no. This is not an entire package. They actually have all like they had a bunch of separate trailers for all these characters, and
oh, okay.
they have their own release dates, and like every character is made by different people.
Oh, I see.
Like yeah, because like I said, this was a community mod showcase.
Right. Okay. Yep. I
But it's just gotten to the point where it's gotten so big in the modding community to like just do these things for the game that they actually have like whole Nintendo Direct style videos on YouTube for all of this stuff.
that's freaking crazy, dude. But it's crazy in the best way.
It is. It definitely is.
That's awesome.
Anyway, speaking of community involvement, our last news thing for the day is a game that we've been following for quite a while and has now gotten its first or at least is this the first playtest? I can't remember whether this was the first or second playtest.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, yes, it is the very first playtest, and it is for 2XKO. There have been playtests and demos done at various conventions and tournament venues over the course of the past year, or over the course of this year. But just a few days ago, it actually started up for us fans at home. So,
And of course, just our luck, me and Wolf both got the call. We both got into the Alpha Lab.
oh my god,
So first off, a big thanks to Riot Games for choosing us. We
yes,
couldn't be happier.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh man, and you know what? I am very thrilled with the game, and the state it's in right now. Like, yes, we only have 6 characters to choose from. We only have 4 different stages.
And there's definitely some balancing issues here and there, but
Yes, some balancing issues, but regardless, it's just been an absolute blast to play.
overall, yeah, it has been very very fun to play. And oh my gosh, the music in this game,
Dude,
like, dude, I
I am
hope
not sleeping here, dude.
I
Dude,
know, like I hope I pray to the heavens that they actually release this on all the streaming platforms, including Apple Music. Please, please put on Apple Music because I need this. I need this. I need the soundtrack in my eardrums 24/7 now. I that's just how much I love this. And you know me, I'm a big connoisseur for OSTs.
oh, absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
And I'm sure, Wolf, you were probably
Oh,
very excited by, like, sure. I mean, the palette colors options are a bit limited to two right now for each character, but I'm sure
yeah.
you were in heaven by the avatar customization.
Oh god, yes. There was quite a bit to work with there, and I mean mine looks, pretty basic for right now, but given that this is still an early build of the game, if this is the kind of stuff that we're going to be using right now, imagine all the extra stuff that we're going to get once this game launches.
Dude, it's crazy. Like already we had tons of variety in terms of like hairstyle, skin color, face look,
Ooh,
eye shape. We have somewhat limited clothing options, but you know what? I'm gonna say this right now. I was okay with the clothing options that they have for the alpha build,
yeah,
but
me too.
I am gonna say I would like to see some more costume options, particularly because like I didn't see any like male dark clothing to really get into my whole ninja vibe. But
Yeah.
I will say, I am very happy that they add in the ability to put on a foxtail. That made my day,
I saw
honestly.
that. I saw that and immediately I thought of you and I'm like, he is absolutely gonna love the shit out of this.
Dude, I really hope that that in the main game, like in the final version of this game, they also add on like some just general fox ears because like I found that one tooth that has the cat ears, and then I also
Yeah,
found a cool hairstyle, but I couldn't have them both. So I'm hoping that they add in a new thing where they just have like a little hairband with ears on it because that would make my day just to complete my whole look.
for sure. Yeah. And on the topic of like outfits and stuff like that, we ended up getting access to alternate outfits for Yasuo and Ari, actually. We ended up getting a little taste of those as well. Unfortunately, you can only use them in training mode, but good God, they actually look so friggin' awesome.
They definitely do. Now, speaking of training mode, Wolf, I do have to ask, what were your opinions on the tutorial?
To be honest with you, I was a little confused. I was definitely a little confused because the way that this game goes about explaining the controls, it's not like it's not in the traditional sense.
It definitely isn't too accessible because like I found I was having trouble like figuring out like especially when you went to like the super moves and like the level one, level two,
Yeah.
level three supers. That was very confusing to me into me because they had down and then in brackets they had down and either right or left bumper. I did not know
Yeah.
that meant that you had to actually like tap down twice and then press a button to pull off a super, which
Yeah.
not gonna lie, as like for a game that is supposed to be like super accessible to like everyone, that input didn't really give me confidence because like when I was trying to play the game and I was trying to actually do the command for a super, especially when I try to do the level three ultimate, it was hard to get it out fast enough. Like granted, I don't want it to have like I don't want it to be like a like just a one button press because
Yeah.
that's just too easy for me. But I think they need to rethink like what command they actually do for this because like the double tap down to press and then press button. I just feel like that's not very viable when you're in the heat of battle.
Yeah, it's a little weird. And in addition, with the specials and the ultimates, you can also pull those off right away from the auto combos as well.
Indeed, which I do like because like it does give players they're not as used to fighting games a chance to actually pull off those supers, and I think that's actually a good move on Riot's part. The one thing I will say about the tutorial for sure though, it is incomplete because I
Yeah.
found I found that L2 did something. I wasn't sure what that was. I never got the chance to look at it and find out in a match. But the tutorial never touched on that and also never explained how to use your bursts.
Yeah, it's weird. And on top of that, with the yeah, and with the fuse option as well, like I got lost with that because yeah, it details what each one does, but there's no There's no tutorial on like how to actually put those into effect.
I know, like based on how the control scheme of this game kind of runs, it kind of reminds me of an Arc System Works game. And I know that
Ooh,
in Arc games, they do tend to have like all these different lessons in the tutorial going through each specific element of the control scheme, which I
yeah,
think Riot trying to take a page from and do for 2XKO, just not in like the whole huge list way that Arc does, but in like just add that kind of thing to the tutorial,
yeah.
like have us go through each, like sure, have us go through each of the moves and the combos, but also like show us like what everything does.
Exactly. And I can appreciate the inspiration uh for that, but we do have to keep in mind this is just, a very early build of the game, so
Oh yeah. I'm totally, I'm
not
like
everything's going to be perfect, but
totally I'm not trying to point fingers here and say nah, but
yeah.
like I think in terms of us getting feedback, this would be our feedback. Definitely upgrade the tutorial, like just overhaul it. I'd say just overhaul the tutorial, and also like I would also appreciate if for once this was a fighting game that actually had voiceover tutorials.
Honestly, I would really appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, because because like newcomer casuals to fighting games, like they got no time to read.
Yeah,
There's no
that's
reading in fighting games.
this is true. I feel like a lot of people now, with the newer generations and whatnot, I feel like a lot of them are more, auditory listeners or auditorial
Learners. Yeah.
learners. There we go. I'm sorry. Auditory learners. So I definitely feel like that would pay dividends for sure. For those who learn by listening. Um, but yeah, like it's not perfect, and there's definitely plenty of stuff that can be improved upon, especially the control scheme because
Yes, can let's talk about the control scheme for a second here because it was honestly a little confusing at first. I'm not gonna lie.
definitely confusing. It's still confusing, and us casuals, we're not the only ones that are confused. As a matter of fact, a handful of FGC veterans and pros, people who have gone on to compete in tier 1 tournaments and have won some of the biggest titles ever, some of the biggest championships ever, even they are experiencing challenges with the control layout. So we thank goodness that are not the only ones suffering from that. It is
I
just
mean, I wouldn't call myself suffering from it because, like, one, I am glad that we no longer have to like put in like crazy inputs to do our special moves. Like, it's literally just a button.
okay. Yeah,
I will say
it's
though, it like this like the like getting the specials out doesn't make as much sense though when you try to use those buttons because they're very directional dependent. Like say for Ari for instance, like if you do her right bumper, her super, just like in neutral, it's like just some sort of shot. But when you try to do a direction with that and do the super, she goes into like her like a smaller version of her level 2 drill spiral super,
yeah.
and she basically does that. And if you are unfortunate enough to keep pressing that, because it is a very short range and very fast attack. So, and if you
That's
keep doing
right.
it, it will actually automatically do a backwards version of that, which I actually found quite annoying when I was using that move to try getting close and close the distance because like Ari, she is the show of the game, but she does really good in close combat. In
Hmm.
close quarters, but having that like just automatically also bring you back if you do not have the wherewithal to like not press the button twice, it is quite distracting, especially when you don't even press back to do it.
This is very true. That has caused me quite a few issues when I play Azari. But yeah, like it obviously it's gonna take, some getting used to. Thankfully, at the time of recording, there's still about a week or so remaining for the play test. So that's that's at least some good news there. But yeah, by no means is this something that is easy to get into, nor is it easy to master. And I like the fact that this isn't an easy game to master, but I just feel like trying to master the game is going to be a lot more tedious than it's supposed to be.
Yeah, like there's easy and then there's also accessible. They're not necessarily two sides of the same coin here. Like easy is like just being very dumbed down for
Yeah.
everyone, and then accessible is just being, you know, like it's simple, but there's a lot of depth to how you use it. And I think Riot is unfortunately going more to kind of this weird in between state where it's kind of like easy in the sense where you can like get off all those like just rapid hit triangle combos to pull off cool moves, but then it also like, you know, if you want to use your specials correctly, you know, they're not necessarily as simple as you like them to be for accessibility purposes. So it's honestly a bit of a mess right now, but I know, like, but based on what I've seen so far, I am confident that Riot can take the feedback that the fans give them in this playtest for this week, and they can use that and really, like, just sharpen this game into the fine point that it needs to be.
I can definitely agree with that. Still a lot more to look forward to, and yeah, this is just the beginning. So by the time the game launches, I am pretty confident in the fact that that Riot will have hopefully been able to merge the easy to play. What? Oh my god, I can't.
Easy to play, hard to master.
Yes, they'll have that and uh easy accessibility. Hopefully they will have those merged together by the time this game launches.
Indeed. Although I will
Yeah.
say the mechanics they have for the assists and how you switch between characters, I actually found those very innovative. I think that might be what's tripping up a lot of the FGC veterans is
Possibly.
like the momentum you have to have with using your two characters in tandem, which I gotta say for a guy who just tried playing it like last night, it was honestly quite fluid for me to do. Like I would
It
for the entire for the entire night, I was maining Ari and Alawi, and they flowed quite like once I found the groove for them, I got into that groove and it was beautiful to behold. I would be on Ari, I would be putting out a combo to like getting close to my opponent and kind of back me into the corner, and then boom, I switch to Alawi and she brings in with her beautiful just heavy hits that like go for like under like uppercuts, straights, overheads. It was lovely to see, and I will be happy to report that I actually did manage to get off her ultimate,
Oh, let's
which
go.
I will say is as cool as it's been shown in videos. It is like
Hell yeah.
as soon as I knew that it connected, I was like, yes, go meet the deep, meet the deep. Like it was
Yes.
just so like I will say like it is like it definitely is a challenge like to like actually make contact with your ultimates, which I think is not a bad thing because you know it is the ultimate. You're not supposed to be
Yeah.
able to spam it that easily, but like once you do get to connect, it is so freaking satisfying. It is
I
so satisfying.
agreed, dude. Agreed. And you know what? Going back to, the tagging and stuff like that, I really do love the addition of the tag launcher. Which like that, it comes in handy in so many different situations.
It does.
For that, it's a combo extender too. So
Mm-hmm.
that I am just absolutely in love with the tag launcher mechanic because like it can get you out of some pretty crazy situations, and you don't lose any sort of momentum or any amount of pressure that you're putting on your opponent. So
Indeed, granted, like they got a lot of like they have a lot of work to do on a lot of the other elements, but I will say that I think the team like just the X button, the team mechanic, like the whole switching and switching out and assist things, I think they actually have that nailed down to where it needs to be right now,
I agree. So pretty much just focusing on tweaking everything else. Uh,
including character balancing. Because I will
yeah.
say, two of the characters that I am infuriated about at right now for being just so OP. One, Darius.
Yeah.
That oh my gosh, that guy, his zoning game is way too wide and way too quick. Plus, one of his supers, like literally, like even if you are on the ground, this super hits. It's
which
basically just a
is
sword.
which
It's
is
basically just.
crazy because that's not exactly supposed to happen,
I
right?
mean, granted, it's kind of balanced out by Alawi having like her level 2 also like her or sorry her level 1 also does that, but
True.
I feel like based on like how short range she is, it's actually a lot more fair. Meanwhile, Darius, he's a huge zoner. Like he is
Well,
just the zoniest zoner to ever zone, and I don't think he needs a super like a level 1 super at that where he can actually just get you while you're stunned on the ground. I
which also throws people off because when you look at Darius, you don't expect him to be, a zoner or anything like that. Like just looking at the way he's built, you don't expect a guy like him to be that crazy of a zoner, but here we are anyways.
Yeah, and like granted, I have no qualms about him being a zoner. I think if the devs want to make him a zoner, that's fine. It's just he needs nerfing,
Yeah.
serious nerfing, and also like going back to another zoner, Echo. Like granted, like I'm like, and
Oh,
I'll say this first, just for context. I am fine with Echo's regular stuff. He for fundamentals and all that, and for a couple of his specials, he is totally fine the way he is right now. I have no comments about most of his stuff. It's just those damn time slow grenades. I'm gonna call them. I'm not sure what they're actually called, but basically like the move where he throws out a little projectile oh it's slow moving,
yeah.
and
Whatever it's
if it
called.
hits you, basically it makes you fall in slow motion, giving him the opportunity to like. I had to play against one duo of players who were playing against me 2-1. One of them was playing Echo, and he just kept spamming that move, and it was
Well,
annoying because it's slow moving, so it's hard to like judge the distance of how much you have to jump. And also, and that's another thing, jumping in this game needs some polishing because I found
it,
like I
it
wasn't able to like jump forward or back the way I wanted to, so definitely needs some ironing out there.
I agree, but like, dude, going back to Echo, like that, it's so bonkers, and you add in the fact that he's so fast on the ground as well. His
Indeed,
movement is
I
ridiculous.
yeah, like I think it's honestly like granted, like I get that they're trying to be true to the characters of League of
Yeah,
Legends, but I feel like they need to nerf that grenade because given how fast he is, like just allowing him to freeze time for his opponents specifically is a little unfair in my opinion.
a little bit, yeah, and especially considering, how diverse the rest of the roster is right now, like that gives him a very serious advantage. And this early into development, he is like pretty much god tier at this point.
Yeah, he's definitely in the meta. He, Darius, and Braum are definitely the metas. But I will say though, I played against two Brahms in my time last night, and I don't think he's as overpowered as people seem to think he is. He like sure his level 1 super can be a bit annoying with the ice pillars. That can be a little more, especially when you have someone who actually knows how to spam that like
Yeah,
twice over. Like sure, it's a little bit annoying, but you know what? It can be easily blocked. Like as long as your reflexes are good enough and you got a decent amount of distance between you.
true.
And I will say though that his shield not as problematic as you may think. I found ways around the shield quite often. Even when he armored up and did like that ice shields layer on top,
Yeah.
it wasn't too bad. And even his charge attacks, I found actually to be very fair. Like if people are having doubts about him in his current form, I get it, but I do not necessarily agree with them. The only thing I will say, those damn dogs.
Right?
Those damn dogs
Dude.
with his ultimate. Like Grant is very cute and funny, and I thought like, oh gosh, I'm being killed with kindness here with all the licks, but
There is nothing kind about that ultimate.
literal like
There's
he
not.
like I was literally getting licked from that
Oh,
ultimate. And but yeah, I will say I think
oh,
I will say that I think Braum does he is definitely in the meta, and but I don't think he's as bad as Darius or Echo, but I still think he could use a little bit of nerfing. On the other hand though, like my girl Alawi, she's awesome. I don't think I would ever actually change anything about her aside from like giving her
Yeah.
starters, like aside from getting her like starter moves like a little more range because like that girl like sure once she gets going she gets enough range to like get you halfway across the map, but
Oh, yeah.
like just to get that started, like she's doing like Muay Thai like elbow thrusts and knee jabs for God's sakes. Like it's very
Yeah.
hard for her. Like you have to get really close for her to actually connect to make that first connection to confirm, and then
Exactly.
you can just flow into the combo. Like once you get into the combo, you're in. But to get there, it's definitely a chore. And
Yeah.
then
And
going
with
to
it being,
Ari,
yeah.
yeah, and then going to Ari, like she like again she is definitely the Shota, so I do not necessarily expect her to be all super flashy, but I did also find her a little bit too bland in my opinion. Like granted, like she's still my Fox girl, she's still my favorite character so far in the roster, but I feel like they could do more with her.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. Her combos and her abilities and whatnot, like they seem very on brand. For an all around character like Ari, decent damage and whatnot. But yeah, just some some stuff that needs to be tweaked. Ilawi, I agree with you there as well. I really wouldn't change a single thing, with the exception of what you just described there, because god damn it is painful trying to start up those combos, and the fact that you're just not that close. Like if you're not close enough, good lord, like you will get punished for it. And
Especially if you're fighting Darius. Like, oh gosh.
oh lord.
Like
I,
Darius
I
is
don't
like
I
the
don't
like
even want to go there. I don't even
dude, Darius is like the worst matchup for Alawi ever.
Whoa.
Ever.
I don't even want to go there. It is a terrible, terrible, terrible matchup. Darius will he oh my god.
Like you really need to get in fast and punish the hell out of him and like pressure him like nonstop to get him out. Otherwise, he will wreck your world. Like he actually perfected both my characters one time.
Dude, oh my god.
Dude needs an intervention. He needs to develop her intervention and he needs to get nerfed.
Yes, please. Riot, I really, really hope that you were listening to the fans, because some serious changes need to be made here.
Yeah.
But regardless, long story short, we are enjoying the Alpha Lab playtest. It's not perfect, but there's still plenty of things for us to enjoy.
And it definitely has that fun factor.
Exactly. And as I mentioned at the time of recording, there is still a week left before the playtest comes to an end. So yeah, for everyone who got selected, congratulations, and hope you guys continue to enjoy the game.
And you guys know that we're gonna try to like enjoy this to the fullest ourselves. Like Wolf,
Exactly.
like Wolf, definitely find me a time that you can get onto your PS5 when your
Yeah.
family isn't when your TV isn't otherwise indisposed, and let's freaking throw down because I would love to show you how good I've gotten with Ari and Alawi.
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to that.
And
Not
actually, that makes me think. Just before we jump off into our indie spotlight, um, so my like obviously I'm maining Ari and Alawi hard, but who
yeah.
are you maining?
You're gonna find yourself in a mirror match, brother.
God damn it! No,
You're,
no.
you're
Okay,
gonna
well,
you're gonna
well,
find yourself in a mirror match.
granted, you know what they say in the art of war: know yourself, know your enemy, and you'll win 1,000 battles. So I guess I guess this shows me both how to fight as and fight against my main duo.
Yep, exactly. And like it's a learning opportunity, because yes, with every fighting game, there will be times where you go into a mirror match, and you need to figure out your best way around your opponent who's using the same character or characters as you are. So this is going to be quite the learning experience.
It's definitely very good training. Like honestly, like I can see like how competitive fighters might actually do this as like a specific training exercise because like this like it's basically like fighting against yourself but not, and
Yeah.
it's just it's really good training to know how to defend against your characters now, and how and how in turn how your opponents might defend against you. So very very good training. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that. And I
Me
think
too.
I gotta say this right now before we actually do our own like matchup against ourselves. We are definitely banning Darius.
Yep, I
Darius is banned. Our
Ooh.
roster is only 5 characters right now until Darius gets fixed.
Yes, exactly. Wait, with that said though, wouldn't that technically mean we would have to ban Echo in a sense?
Honestly, like I don't think Echo is that broken
Or
enough
just like a
to be banned.
semi-ban?
I don't think he's that banned. I don't think he's that bannable. There's just like I said, like aside from the grenade move, everything else I think is fine about him.
Okay, fair enough.
So I won't
Darius
ban.
is a walking bannable offense right now.
So Darius is the one guy I would ban. Anyway, we babbled on enough about 2XKO. Let's get into
Yes.
our indie spotlight, shall we?
Yes, let's. And you came up with this one this time, and I believe it is a little gem called Duels of Fortune.
Yes, it is. It now, granted, I will say to you guys right now, based on what I saw in like this is coming from that video that I found with the 3 like niche fighting games for the indie scene. Um, the same one where I found Rainbow Hyper Nova, but but I will say and I will say just based on what I've seen, this game is quite basic. Like the characters do not have a whole lot of variety around them, but this game is still stylish AF. Like I think you like I think you really like this, Wolf, because it definitely gives me MVC vibes.
Definitely. Like even from the little bits that I saw from that video itself, and even just looking at the trailers,
Cell shading is on point.
yeah, it looks fantastic, dude.
It definitely does. Like it's kind of like if they took Street Fighter and then slapped the MVC feel to it.
Which is absolutely amazing because now that's actually gotten me thinking of what a Street Fighter game would actually look like with that sort of feel to it. So, like there I am. This game has caused me to go off into dreamland thinking about something other than this exact game. But nonetheless, it just goes to show just how visually appealing this game is and how inviting it is.
Yeah, even if the substance itself isn't quite up to par with other fighting games, it is still pretty to look at. Pretty to look at. And I will say, if any of you guys listening want a really good challenge, the final boss in the arcade ladder, freaking menace that guy.
Oh
Freaking
my
menace.
goodness.
Oh my gosh. Like, I think the guy who made the video, I'm sorry to the video's creator, I keep forgetting your name, but the creator who made this, he made a valiant attempt to defeat the final boss. I think he made over like 20 or 30 attempts to try to beat him.
Good lord.
And I'm not actually sure if he actually did it or not. So this boss, if anyone's looking for a good challenge in an indie fighting game, for as little as this game offers in terms of substance, the final boss is definitely a challenge. And granted, this was on normal mode. There is a hard mode to this.
What? All of this just on normal? What the heck?
Indeed. So yeah, I will probably just pick this up at some point just to play the boss, because I kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to see just how tough this guy is.
Oh god. This is gonna be interesting.
It is. Anyway, that leaves us plenty of time, I think, to go into our discussion topic now.
Yes, and if you guys remember from our Evo special, we were talking about character customization in tournaments. And so our discussion topic here is pretty much an extension of that. So now we're just talking about character customization in general.
Yes, and specifically stuff that we've done, because like I'm not sure if I've ever said this on the podcast before, but before before recently, I have not been a huge customization kind of guy. Like I've been all about just like getting into the meat of the game and all the mechanics and just going old default. Like default was my default
Yes,
previously.
You have mentioned that a couple of times on here. Yes.
Yes, and then I found the and then I went to the arcade quest for T8 finally, and I got introduced to their customization thing. And I'm not gonna lie, I have sunk a good amount of time into character customization now. But and like here's the thing. Here's the thing. Obviously, I made a new look for my girl Reina.
Yes.
That's not in question. And Wolf, I cannot wait for like as soon as we finish playing our 2XKO match, hopefully this weekend, I am definitely gonna challenge you to Tekken 8, and you're going to see the magnificence of my Reina skin.
Oh boy.
I think you're gonna be very impressed with my work. But then but then like when I had to go but then that was nothing compared to the start of the arcade quest where I had to actually customize my avatar.
Yes. Like isn't that just one of the coolest things that you've ever seen, man?
Oh yeah, for sure. And it is so cool. Like granted, like I went in trying to get my ideal look as Shimaro. Like I really went in and tried to get my ideal look. And I almost got the perfect look for myself, except I couldn't get the fighting gloves for one of
No.
my accessories. Starting out on the arcade quest, the fighting gloves are locked. You actually
No
have to
way.
defeat Orochi, the TA champion in the story mode, to actually unlock this because that's what he wears. And honestly, that was the motivation I needed to knock out this quest line in 2 days. Like
Oh my lord.
I seriously went through this just to get those gloves, and then after that, I actually made 2 other avatars.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I got into this. Like granted, like they're both like they're mainly just like same clothing, just different colors. But
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I spent so much time on those. I think I've spent a good like in total, like including the avatars and the Reina and the customized Reina. I think I may have loaded like probably around 2 hours into character customization, and now I am on a bit of a tear to find other character customization stuff like this in other games to try to see like what else I can make. So, Wolf, you're to blame to this. You are definitely to blame for this because you've been showing off your customization props to me for years. I
Yeah.
thought you were crazy to spend so much money and so much time on this, and now I see the appeal, and now I cannot stop. Now I cannot stop. You have made a monster out of me because you know I'm a writer. You know I went to school for creative writing, and you know
Yep.
just how much my imagination flies. So you can definitely see at least 2 more Reina costumes coming your way, plus
Oh
whoever else I
boy.
can think of for other characters. Like you definitely know I'm also gonna touch on June and maybe Kuma.
Oh, definitely. I know for a fact you're gonna go with Jun. I know for a fact you're gonna go with Kuma.
And of course, Lydia.
Yes, exactly.
I
So
mean, granted, I'm probably not gonna play Lydia as that much. I did try labbing her recently, not like not too long ago. And while I do think I could definitely get good at her in time, I don't think she's gonna be like my anchor. That definitely still sticks with Reina. But for
yeah, I was
sure,
just
but
about to say Reina's got that slot filled.
yeah, but for sure, Lydia is definitely gonna be a close like tie for second with June, and I'm definitely gonna still get her some glow ups here and there.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? With you now finally on a tear with customization, that will obviously lead into other fighting games, one of which would be Street Fighter 6. Now, to be
Ooh, dude. I will say right there. I tried going through the like the not the story mode, but like the other mode where you're just picking your own custom character.
yeah,
I am gonna say this. I think this is like what really triggered the T8 character customization tear because I actually tried making my own custom character and making it my ideal for me. I'm gonna say the faces ugly, ugly, ugly,
yeah,
ugly.
they're not exactly the best. Like I think just about everything else in the creation suite is like pretty damn good, but it's just like The faces, yeah,
I mean, like you have to go down to like bone structure and all that. Like there are so many different tiny little things they can adjust, and it's just so hard. Like I just want to get a somewhat angled face that would look good on Ninja Boy, like
yeah,
on the Ninja Boy that I am. Like I do not need all of this customization that puts me all in this control. Like honestly, this I hate to make this comparison, but this and now like and great, I haven't played this other game, but I've seen other people do the kind of character build in this other game, but I kind of feel like the SF6 character builder is not too dissimilar from Pal World.
you know what? I don't think you would be alone in making that comparison. Um, and I mean, like, when, especially when the game was in its early stages, Street Fighter 6, I mean, in its early stages, and even with the demo and stuff like that, like, people would go absolutely bonkers and completely ape shit with creating their avatars. Like, literally, they would just make these. I for the lack of a better word, they would end up creating like these abominations
That's
with
exactly what I was
with
gonna say.
ridiculous proportions
I
that
know, like it's
don't
just
make a lick of sense.
like great. It's not as bad as Power World in terms of proportions, but it like I think we just suffer from choice paralysis with this,
Probably.
and like like I find that like with all like the aspects you have to do with the face alone, it's really hard to just get like the face type you want. Like I think they should
Yeah,
just really go back to the whole character customization system where you have like like a lot of
where
preset
you have all your
options.
presets.
Yeah. Like, sure, have presets, but have like a lot of presets, and just make that the way to customize your character. Because like having all those sliding was not fun for me. I'm gonna say this right now. The sliders were not fun.
Honest, like I know this makes us sound like hypocrites, but here's the thing. There is a fine line, a very fine line between customization being fun and customization being tedious. The avatar
Yeah,
creation for Street Fighter 6,
definitely tedious.
it's
Definitely
definitely tedious.
100% tedious.
Absolutely.
Like I finally got my avatar to be somewhat decent. I still think he looks ugly in the face and proportions. I'm just gonna say this right now. I suck at proportions, so I hate that I had to make these by myself. So I got these to be the best I could possibly be. But they are definitely far from perfect. So you will not see me trying to make a new avatar anytime soon because that system was just kind of atrocious. But
Yeah.
now like enough about the newbie to fighting and customizations and all that. Well, I want to hear from the veteran in the room. So here's my two questions for you.
Go on.
What fighting game do you think has the best character customization that you've seen so far throughout your entire career as a fighting game player? And two, who is your favorite character that you customized so far?
Oh man, both of those are really excellent questions, but they are really tricky questions too.
Let's start with the first one. So, out of all the
Yes.
fighting games you played that have had color customizations, and granted, like this could go as like as little as like palette swaps for all I care. Like of all the character customization systems that you've seen, which game do you think is the best? Or give me like a tie of like top three or something.
I would probably say that my favorite one, probably the one that was the best for me, was Mortal Kombat 11. I would have to say. And the reason for that is because you could do a lot with that. Originally, this is actually an expanded version of the customization from Injustice 2, where you could actually equip different style body parts to various characters. You could swap palettes. You could equip different moves and stuff like that. So definitely NetherRealm Studios did a really great job with the customization for Injustice 2. They expanded on that in MK11. So, for example, with Scorpion, you could customize his masks, you could customize his sword, and you could customize his kunai as well.
Dang.
Um, and in addition to that, you could equip different unique intros and outros for him. You could also equip a maximum of 3 different special moves, which, I mean, it is limited, but at the same time, it's kind of cool when you're just starting to get into it. Um, so you'll have your 3 slots, and moves will either cost 1 slot or they'll cost 2 slots. And obviously, there will be some moves that conflict others due to having, very similar or possibly even identical properties.
Right.
So you would need to make sure that you can find the right fit for your character without having any sort of move conflicts. And lastly, with that, you could actually use your customized variations in AI battles. So literally,
Hmm.
computer will actually take control of your customized variation and pit it against somebody else's customized variation, and it'll go from there. So you can actually adjust the values to suit whatever you're looking for. Like you could turn your character into a zoner based character. You could double down on grappling. You could go all out with rush down. It is just absolutely insane. So the fact that there's so much that you could do with that is incredible. Again, my only one gripe would be the fact that, you're limited with the amount of special moves that you can equip to each
Right.
variation. And I would have to make the comparison that the variation system introduced in Mortal Kombat X was actually a little bit better in that case because while there were certain special moves locked to a specific variation, um, you at least had like a good number of moves specifically for that variation. So, a good example would be probably Sub Zero. So, you already have like a decent move set for Sub Zero and MKX, but let's say you choose the Unbreakable variation that grants you Frozen Aura and Shield of Frost in addition to a few other moves. So, pretty much like the variation system in MKX is like enhancing your character's move set, so to speak. And I really do, and like a lot of people did not like the variation system, like it was very divisive. But I think overall, yeah, MK11 was probably one of the best examples of customization. That and Tekken 7. I would have to put that out there as well. Tekken 7 was extremely crazy when it came to customization because you could literally customize everything from hairstyles to eyewear. You could have tattoos. Um, you could select like legacy outfits as well for certain characters, like Nina Williams, for instance. She had her black bodysuit from the Blood Vengeance movie, and his tracksuit look from Tekken 4.
Ooh, dang.
So like there was so much that you could do with that, and of course, in addition to that, you could also customize the portraits, as
Right.
which I thought was such a great addition, and that's pretty much been a mainstay at this point since I want to say like maybe Tekken 5, or maybe Tekken 6.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Yeah, I would have to say Tekken 7 and Mortal Kombat 11 probably have the best customization. And then leading into your second question,
Yes, out of all the characters that you customize over the years, who is your favorite?
oh man.
Or top three, if you can't choose one.
Okay, well I'll do a top 3 then. And this is in no particular order.
Of course, of course.
I guess my first one would probably be it would have to be Raiden. And I would probably go with like MK11 into MK1. MK11 Raiden was a lot of fun to customize because you had like all the different versions of his outfits as Dark Raiden. You had alternate looks for past Raiden. You also had, and there were also DLC outfits as well.
Oh no, I think you misunderstood my question here, Wolf. I'm not saying which character in general was your favorite to customize. I'm talking about specific customizations that you have done.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I am getting super
I
specific with
misunderstood that. I'm
this. Yes,
sorry.
I'm getting super specific with this. But obviously, it feels like Raiden is like definitely one version of Raiden that you've done is definitely in your top three. So
Absolutely. And
so which version is that?
that version for MK11, that version would be utilizing his MK95 movie skin, complete with voice lines and the likeness of one Christopher Lambert.
Oh
So,
man, you just love your retro skins, don't you?
of course I do. And I mean, plus, like, yes, the movie version of Raiden for 95 was definitely nothing like what we saw in the video games, but like, it was nice for a change. Um, and it's just because of how different he is compared to the games that just kept me hooked on him. So I had the Christopher Lambert skin equipped. I went with the default palette because nothing beats the default. I went with an alternate straw hat version where it's kind of like it's sort of hollowed out and it's got like it's kind of like a pattern where there's a piece and then a piece is missing, a piece is missing. Like you know what I'm getting at there?
I totally get it. It's kind of like spokes on a wheel.
Yeah, exactly. So I had a hat that was like that. I gave him a staff that was really friggin' cool. It was like jagged and pointy at the end, or
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
it was jagged at the end, but it also had like this really cool looking crystal at the edge as well where the blade was.
Gotcha. Okay, so you were kind of going for like an edgy sorcerer kind of vibe with Raiden here.
Something like that, yeah. And then you could also customize his amulet as well. I gave him a I gave him an amulet that basically looked like a pair of fish emulating the yin and yang symbol.
Oh, that's a classic. That's a classic look. Okay, so
Yeah,
you have edgy sorcerer Raiden. Who else
something
is your
like
top
that.
three customizations that you've ever done?
Um, my second one would probably be Jin Kazama in Tekken
I
8.
freaking knew it. I freaking knew it. I freaking knew you were gonna go
This
with your TA
this
Jin.
this is one that you've seen me play with as well.
I have, and I
Oh,
will
you
admit
know which one I'm talking about.
I will admit he does look pretty damn cool.
He does. So for those who don't know what I'm talking about here, basically I went with the destroyer karate bottoms that are like new to him in the game. And then I gave him horns, I'm pretty sure. I gave him horns.
Yes, you gave him horns, the third eye. You made him go shirtless, and you gave him the badass aura.
Yes, and on top of that, I also used a unique item that is only for Jin, and that is the soul chain. So
Oh yeah, yeah. I do kind of remember that. Like it was kind of giving me like Kratos vibes here.
yeah, exactly. So
Right. Actually, now I think about it, I actually did show off that variant during one of our T8 episodes on the YouTube channel.
I'm pretty sure we did. That was actually the very first customization that I did for Tekken 8 was going into that with Jin. So full black and red color scheme. I gave him devil eyes as well.
Of
So
course, of course.
so it's literally just like black and then the iris is red. So and like the pupil it's black obviously.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like an
I made him
inverse.
I pretty much made him kind of a combination of his human and devil self because uh canonically, sorry, I was struggling there for a minute. Canonically, he's got the devil gene under control. So
Right.
I
So
kind
so
of
so
wanted
so,
to
so
go for a look that emulated that basically.
right. So you wanted to go kind of with your own interpretation of like how he kind of looked with that like half and half going on.
Exactly. So that would be the second one. And then my third one, oh boy. Um My third one is actually rather simple, and it's actually the way I stylized Cammy in Street Fighter 6. So
Do tell, do tell.
I do have her default outfit as well as her legacy outfit. And what I do this for both of them. So instead of going for the usual regular palette colors, I actually go with color number 3. And so for Cammy's default, it turns the light blue into a darker blue, but then it's
Ooh, okay.
blue with red. So uh,
Hmm.
on her jacket, instead of the primary color being that light blue, it's actually red, and it does a really good job of making the Union Jack on the back of her jacket. It does a really good job at making that just pop out even more.
Hmm.
And even with like her gauntlets too, swaps the color from red to a darker blue.
Nice. Okay, okay.
Really, and
I like this. I like this.
it looks great, and it does the same thing for the most part with the legacy outfit. So her beret, it still remains red, but the bodysuit is blue. Her gauntlets remain red, and then of course the camo paint, because they brought back the camo paint.
Right.
That is actually the same shade blue as well.
Dang. Okay. That actually is. I'm definitely have to buy the more of the palettes and the costumes at some point for my main roster guys, because this does sound like cool stuff.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I've always loved about the Street Fighter games is the fact that it gives you access to like all these super cool looking palettes and stuff like that, and it's like you can basically create your own version, so to speak, of these characters. I believe it was Super Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, I think, where it actually gave you, and I believe this is probably the only time this has ever shown up, you could actually create your own custom palette. So,
That is pretty sweet. Not gonna lie.
yeah. So what I did with that when I played it was I used Cammy for this, and what I did was I recreated her Delta Blue look from the comics.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay. Respect.
yeah,
Respect.
so the beret would be blue, and the bodysuit would be white. Gauntlets would be blue as well, and I believe for the camo paint, I'm pretty sure the camo paint was white as well.
I
I
think so. Yeah. That like that
so
sounds right.
yeah, so it was definitely a more white on blue. But like for all the different outfits and looks that she's had through the comics, like her Delta Blue look is one of my absolute favorites.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was all over that.
Yep. Makes sense that you would try to emulate. Ain't that? Can't be simple.
Yeah. So that's pretty much my top 3 out of hundreds and
Oh,
hundreds.
I'm sure you have a whole Rolodex of customizations that you've had throughout the years of different fighting characters.
Oh, believe me, I do. And it changes too over time. Like sometimes I might decide to try something new, so I would have to abandon one custom look in favor of another.
Mm,
Eventually I do return to some of those. So,
nice, nice. Now,
yeah.
before we end off this discussion talk, Wolf, I want to ask you something. In when we do get our YouTube channel back up and running,
Yep.
and when we do start going through all the different fighting games that we go through, I'm gonna throw them the gauntlet right now. I'm gonna challenge you to a customization face-off.
Okay. Okay. I see.
Now,
No, I
the way I'm gonna make this work is for each time we do a new game on the channel, we both have to come up with a new customization for the character that we're fighting with,
all right.
and it is going to be up to the viewers to decide who wins.
Oh boy. Oh man, that is,
Do you accept my challenge?
you know what? Gladly. I will
Okay then.
accept that challenge.
Okay then. You heard it here, folks. We are now going to do a new thing on our YouTube channel. Once that's up back up and running, where each time we do a new game, we are throwing on the gauntlet and we were facing off in the fashion.
Damn right. So with that said, we still have a little bit of time left, so let's go into our dream rosters, and good lord, this is easily going to be the longest episode we've ever done.
By far, dude. And but I think it's pretty cut and dry with the dream rosters because you picked like I am not surprised that you picked a MOBA for yours, given that we both are coming off of the high of 2XKO. So the
Yep.
fact that you chose Smite for yours, I mean not too surprising, but of all the MOBAs you could have picked, whew, that's a big roster full of gods to deal with.
I agree, and to be fair, this is pretty much the only other MOBA that I've ever actually played. So I didn't really have a lot of choices going into this in terms of MOBAs, but with Smite, I've always been enamored by this particular game because yes, it's a MOBA, but you're pretty much using gods and stuff like that.
Not to mention, you're also doing it in the third person, which I like. But let's
That
face
as
it,
well, yeah.
one of the big draws for you was because they had the Ruby skins.
Yes, this is true, which unfortunately are no longer available. One, because the crossover happened many years ago, and two, because of the fact that the licensing, licensing issues and whatnot. But of course, Smite has had a long history of crossovers. Like they've done everything from Ruby to Avatar: The Last Airbender, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like they went all over the place with crossovers.
They truly did. And you know what? I think the fact that you have all these gods on your side, I think this would make a great fighting game. Honestly, like I mean, if Rai can do it with 2XKO, I definitely think whoever. I forget who does Owen Smite.
Uh Crap, I actually can't remember. I can't remember myself. It has been literal years since the last time I've played Smite, but yeah, given how big the roster is, I definitely feel like this would work perfectly for a fighting game. I am biased. Um so one of the characters that I would probably have like right off the bat would be Pele. Definitely Pele, because she is an islander and she's also the goddess of volcanoes. So,
Definitely, and I think just for me, I think, or actually no, for the both of us, I think you definitely also have to throw Bast into your roster.
oh, of course, man. I wouldn't. There's no way. There's no way I'm gonna think twice about that. Absolutely gonna be part of the roster, but just oh my gosh, it. I see this going very similarly to the way 2XKO is structured, but I would probably say rather than it being a tag team 2D fighter, I would probably make this a 2D arena brawler. Or sorry, a tag team arena brawler. There we go.
Yeah, I can definitely see the appeal of that, especially since like given how Smite's gameplay is very third person, like behind the shoulder. I think that does make a lot of sense. And by
Yeah.
the way, I did just look it up. It is Smite is published by Hi-Res Studios.
Okay, there we go. There we go. I that just like completely left my head, so completely forgot about it. But yeah, nonetheless, I feel like Smite would be a great idea for a fighting game. And as you mentioned before, if Riot can do it with 2XKO, I'm sure this could probably be done sometime in the distant future.
And now I'm kind of curious,
Yeah.
with the fact that this is all about gods and such, do you have any ideas for like special mechanics?
Oh boy. Um, that is a good question. I I actually have no idea. Um,
Like off the top of my head, like one cool thing that I think you could do with this kind of game is because it's arena brawler, like all 3D and such, and you have literal gods fighting out. What if you did kind of like a Warriors game where you could summon like these little minions that you would have to like just trash before you got to your actual opponent?
Actually, you know what? That makes perfect sense because like that also flows with the way Smite actually plays. So like I feel like that could definitely work. Absolutely. But yeah, like just off the top of my head, I felt like Smite would be a great option. Tag team arena brawler, have a mechanic where you got to beat up a bunch of minions first before you can actually get to your opponents. Specials and ultimates would remain the same as they are depicted in Smite itself. So really no difference there. Um yeah, I think that's all I got there.
Cool, cool.
And as for you, while we're talking about games that involve numerous characters moving about, you have gone ahead and selected the most popular battle royale game on the face of the earth right now. You went with Fortnite.
Yes, I did, and I am not ashamed to have picked this. Like, I mean, like you chose probably the third biggest MOBA out there, and like Chuck's KO is already a thing, and Dota 2, they're already trying their own little thing with that one Street Fighter type mini game that they did. So I felt like if I was gonna do something equally as big, I had to go into the battle royale scene, and I honestly I think as long as you also like stepped away for like all the crossovers, dear God, I think if Smite is like the king of crossovers, Fortnite is definitely the emperor of crossovers. Dear gods, this
You're
game
right.
has had so many seasons, so many chapters, so many crossovers. Like they've had everything from Dragon Ball to Transformers at this point, and it just
Yep.
keeps on going. Like, oh gosh, people lost their freaking minds when the MCU got introduced that one season.
Oh yeah, and it back to the upcoming crossover titled Absolute Doom. So
Oh my gosh,
you're
they're
going to be
bringing it
taking
back.
control of Doctor Doom.
Whoo, this is gonna be absolutely nuts. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
like all that aside though, like the main story of Fortnite and all the different characters you can get as just your base roster, really fun, really good personalities. Plus, like the art style is very lending to a fighting game. Now, as far as like how this game would look, I'm actually not sure if this would be more arena fighter because I'm not sure if I want like I know everyone's gonna have like giant pickaxes and various types of guns on the field, but I'm not sure if I want to stick this into a 3D fighter. Although a 3D fighter would actually be good if you gave them the build mechanic where they actually like build platforms. I feel like that
That
would be a
could
fun
work.
mechanic, but I'm not sure if it would be very viable for a fighting game, especially if you wanted to get more competitive with it. On the other
Yeah.
hand, 2D fighting game, I mean, like you're limited more in the abilities you can kind of do because like Fortnite is a 3D game and 2D is kind of limiting for 3D games. But at the same time, I feel like you would get more of the characters' personalities because like there are definitely a lot of interesting characters in this series with good personalities. Especially, I do the one thing that I really latched onto with this pick for my dream roster was definitely the fact that I think that they could do something better than what Multiverses is doing right now.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
that is, I think Fortnite could do a better banana character.
You know what? Not now that I'm thinking about it, Peely would actually, yeah, Peely would end up being a much better banana character than Banana Guard
Yeah,
for
yeah. Like I think Peely definitely has a lot more personality. Plus, I could just imagine one of the win animations where say if you ended up defeating Peely, you get to drink him as a smoothie, like in that trailer
No.
for one season. I think that would be pretty funny.
Oh my god. I never thought we would be discussing Fortnite on this podcast, but here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is freaking crazy. Oh my lord. But you know what? That aside, I think that could totally work. I feel like it could.
I definitely think it could. Like especially since
Especially
Fort like
around.
yeah,
Yeah.
Fortnite has gotten to be like one of the biggest games on the planet now, and like they've only just keep expanding with all the crossovers. Plus, they have Lego Fortnite now, which is just insane in my opinion. Especially considering that I am a huge Lego fan. Like I was a huge Lego kid. So the
Well,
fact
I mean, you knew it was gonna happen at some point.
at some point, I guess these days, like at some point, it's kind of like Rule 34 at this point. Instead of everything coming to porn at some point, everything does eventually come to Lego. Like I mean, we've seen that with like Lego Horizons, and even what's his name? Oh my gosh, I forget. I apologize to the fans. I forget who this artist's name is, but there is like one Afro American artist who is getting his own like documentary movie, but he wanted it done all in Lego.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but
The like I know the movie is called Piece by Piece. But I can't remember. For life of me, I can't remember who the famous singer is. I do apologize. But yeah, everything at this point is coming to Lego at some point.
yeah.
But yeah, Fortnite is my dream roster pick. As far as mechanics go for interesting stuff, I think just the fact that if you kept like shrinking kept slowly shrinking the arena, you know,
Yeah,
kind of very
that
kind,
makes sense.
kind of very thematic and accurate. Or you could, and I'm sure you could probably also do something with oh gosh, this definitely just shows how little I know about Fortnite in general. But like that radioactive energy drink that they do to like heal up as their health item, just have that as like a boost or something to use in game,
Yeah.
and oh my gosh, you could definitely imagine just the taunts.
Oh goodness.
Like I can just imagine the like all the flossing that would happen.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could totally see it.
But yeah. So Fortnite definitely my dream roster this time around. Even though I know jack all about it for the most part, I do think it would make a really good fighting game.
You know what? Never in doubt. It definitely would make a good game. Absolutely.
I mean, it is big enough. It could actually happen. Who knows?
It really could. But we've dragged on long enough, so we're gonna end this episode here. Stay cool, stay sharp, and most importantly, fight on.
Fight on.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one, everybody.